Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. We have the Wolfpacks event going on. This is the Soldier track, all three bases. Super easy on this one. I think that the only thing that you might have difficulty with, this is at for lower levels, but check out my video on the commander set. I always recommend just do the commander set, but I always also do the video on the soldier set just in case. And I think the only thing that you'll really have a problem here with is if you really don't have the Prometheus up to level 11, then you're not going to have the workshop on him to send out these units. You can use Forest for this. You don't need to use what I'm using. However, if you use Forest, then you can't use what's this new guy? He's called Richard the Lionheart. Okay, so but Richard can do this all by himself. You don't need the Prometheus. The Prometheus just helps distract. And if you are using the Prometheus and anybody starts coming back there, make sure you just retreat the Prometheus. The Prometheus can take a punch, okay? It's not going to really matter, but it helps to not take damage on your Prometheus because you are obviously going to take some damage on Richard. Another unit that will work here is... what's his name? The Daedalus. The Daedalus will work here because he can shoot air. And let's see, because everything's a floater here, unless you have your what's that? The new guy that flies around, Albert Ross. If you have Albert Ross at level 20. I have all the parts to make Albert Ross level 20, but I do not have him at level 20 because my hangar is not upgraded enough. So I cannot show you how to use Albert Ross yet, but a lot of people have their hangars upgraded already to level 20 and can have their Albert Ross all the way to level 20. I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing something else. I was upgrading something else instead of my hangar. So at any rate, my hangar still has a couple levels to go, and so my Albert Ross is at 17. So at 17, he cannot shoot air. At level 20, he gets a minigun that can shoot air, and it looks like it's pretty powerful. I've seen some people use it, and so if you do have level 20 Albert Ross, I think you can do this with Albert Ross, but because I can't test it, I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that Albert Ross and this new guy, Richard the Lionheart, are fairly similar in how much damage they can take. But here's the thing about Albert Ross. He clears a base so fast that it's very unlikely that he would take too much damage. This guy, Richard, is very slow. So that's what I don't like about him. He's very slow. But in this case, he helps because I don't have my Albert Ross. And I'm going to say 99% of the players do not have their Albert Ross at level 20 yet. Even though I have all of his tokens where I could take him up, I don't have the ability to do that. So anyway, this level 1 base, level 1 soldier, we'll put that in the books as done. It's free repair. You can use, as I said, different units. You do not have to use the Richard or the Prometheus. It's just, anything that the Daedalus, which most people probably have maxed out now, will do that job just fine. A little bit slower. The Daedalus will be a little bit slower. Let's see. Okay, so we go to base 2. This is also soldier set. And once again, I'm going to use the Prometheus because I have him. My Prometheus is also not max level. I think he's like level 12 or 13 or something. But by no means would I say that the Prometheus is necessary to use on this base. Um, very, very easy base, can be done with cannons and Oxford, which everyone should have. Let's see. Um, I don't know why, but I started out with 9 commander bases done already in advance. Maybe that's the way I left it at the end of the last event. I know I had done a lot of level 1 commander bases, and so I don't know why that is. It seems pretty random, 9 level 1 bases. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on up there with Kixeye on that. That could be like a gift for the new year, or it could just be completely a mistake. I don't know. But I started out with 0 XP on this event. All right. So here we go. You can do this whole thing with cannons. Like I said, there was only those 2 railguns up in front. And what you want to do is watch out for your movement. All right? Because as you move, you're going to draw things out. Okay? So move a little bit. Stop. Let the I guess the drones, or whatever you want to call them, the ghosts, and let those guys do the work. Let the foot soldiers from the Prometheus do the work if you do have the Prometheus, and just this base goes very quickly. It's not a tough base, and just be patient, and you should be able to get this for like absolutely free repair, instant repair on the map. So I actually find the number 1 base on this thing right here probably the most difficult. That's the one that you guys are probably going to have the most difficulty with. So the number 2 base is extremely easy, and just take your time, and as I say, let the drones do the damage, because these guys, even though the space is pretty easy, you could end up, if these buggies or whatever, instead of shooting the drones, if they were or the ghosts, if they were shooting you, they will cause you damage. They will cause your cannons damage. Your not cannons, because they take too long to kill. The buggies take too long to kill. The various different units take too long to kill. The buggies are the only ones that are not subject to shock. All right? Everything else is subject to shock. So just keep that in mind. The shock op is going to be your friend in this event. And I recommend you always try to figure out which special op is best, because it always adds a little bit of assistance to you. In some cases like this, I think this shock op is not even optional. I think that it is required, particularly for the commander set, but it really helps in the soldier set. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with a lot of things that you wouldn't have to deal with if you just used the shock op. So that's it for base 2 and base 2 there. I didn't take any damage on my ground units, only a little bit of damage on my air, which was probably like 1 second. And so the Prometheus, if you hadn't used it, you can do that whole base without taking any damage. So here's the third one, and remember how I said watch your movement, okay? I didn't move until those helicopters came out, and you want to watch your movement on this number 3 base, okay? We're going to get out of here with 0 damage, but if you move around, you're going to start drawing things out, and you'll get things from all directions, and because of the angle that they drop you in here. And so you do not want to move around. Pretty much all the turrets are you can outrange all the turrets, and what I'm doing is very, very slowly, very carefully allowing my Prometheus foot soldiers to take out all the tanks, or at least shock them. Once they're shocked, I can move in, but I'm trying to stay away from the tanks because they actually can cause you a lot of damage. So I'm trying to stay away from the tanks themselves, and I'm trying to just allow the foot soldiers to do most of the work on the tanks, or at least shock the tanks. If once the tanks are shocked or the rocket launchers are shocked, then I can move in. Most of the turrets are just anti-air. There are a few of these that I'm shooting right now. I can't remember what they're called, but those do shoot ground, but they have a very, very short range, so they're not much to worry about. So again, I'm just trying to clear the turrets and let the foot soldiers do all the work on the tanks and so forth, because they're pretty good for that. They can just come right on in and clear, because it's taking me so long to clear the turrets anyway. So I'm just being efficient, I think, because I can use the cannons and the Oxford to take out the tanks, yes, but you have to maneuver so much around to make sure that the tanks don't shoot you. I have to clear out the turrets eventually anyway, so I'm just clearing the turrets out now, and letting the drones do the work, basically. So that's my strategy. You'll see here that now I'm not gonna clear out after this point. I'm just working on turrets only, and I'm gonna let the foot soldiers do the rest of the work. And it's much easier, much faster this way. And there's like zero chance of you taking damage on your tank, on your Oxford or Cannon tanks. And that's pretty much it. And then we clear this base with 0 damage, and that's the soldier set. Again, take a look at my commander set. I'm going to suggest that you probably are going to want to do the commander set, because the payout is so much better. However, this soldier set is very easy, and if you do have a problem doing the commander set, then yeah, go ahead and do the soldier set, because you can do it so quickly. Maybe this is a viable strategy for lower players. Either way, if you get a chance, just check out the video on the commander set. And I don't know what else to say. Make sure you do have your shock op going. I think my shock op is going to expire. Remember this is a fact that many people may not know. If you enter your base and hit attack, and the shock op ends while you're in the attack, you continue to get the shock op for the remainder of that attack. Once you enter attack, even if there's only 10 seconds left on the shock op, then, and that's something I do purposefully. I look at how much time is left on my shock op, and enter, and I double check to make sure. You go up and you look at the little icon to make sure it activated, because sometimes it might end like while you're pressing attack. So make sure that it is active, and if it is active and you've got like 10 or 15 seconds left on it, it's good for the whole attack. And so I've always used that. And then so you have an hour if you extend your shock op, right? Well, let's say this attack right here is 8 minutes. which I don't think it's that long, but let's just say it was 8 minutes, right? Some of these bases are 15 minutes. You can add 15 minutes to your shock op by doing that, and then when you come out, you don't start your new shock op until you're ready. You might have to go back to your base. You might look at prizes. You might decide to take a break. Don't get your new shock op going until you're ready to attack. So just another little pointer there. And as you can see, this base is 0 damage. Base number 2 was like 1 second, and I don't know how many seconds base number 1 was, but very minor damage. And so soldier set this time easier than the commander set, but I think it takes more time to do the soldier set, and you get nowhere near the amount of reward. See there what I'm talking about? My shock op was gone, but I still had it, and because it ended while I was in my attack. Now I'm going to go directly back into an attack, so I'll get my shock op going right now. I hope this was helpful, guys, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.